Hi, friends. This is Caitlin. Welcome back. Today, I am so excited. We are going to be playing with flock and loose glitter on some adhesive sheets. So, we had a question the other day about how to use adhesive sheets. How can you use them with the flock or loose glitter? So, we are going to create two super fun and summery cards using the new whoop, Pink and Main Tiki Time images. I see Heather, I see Virginia. Hey, ladies. If you guys are checking in, I'd love to see who's here. And if you're newer to hanging out with us, you can let us know where you're hanging out from. So we are going to use these super adorable images from this new stamp set and create two really fun summertime themed cards. And we are going to incorporate some flock and glitter into them. So if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button if you are on Facebook, and that way you get notified all of the times that we go live. I know Pink and Mean goes live a couple or a few times every week. So, hey, Julianne, Damari, it's so nice to see. Sorry, Damari. I'm gonna guess that's how you say it. I am just so grateful that you guys are here. So let me switch to, hey, Mommy Lay. Oh, that's so exciting. I love watching your lives, and now you're watching my live. Sorry. Let me switch you over. There we go, to our overhead shots. Oh, good, Demar, I was right. All right, so like I said, we're going to be using the Tiki Time stamp set, super adorable. And the main images that I'm going to be using are this amazing lizard. I absolutely love him. And then this really cute hula dancer who has this quite impossible waistline, but she's still so glam that we're going to make it work. And all right, so let me just kind of take you through what I've gathered together to make these. So I have my two side folding card bases. So let's go ahead and just start assembling these bases to get them kind of taken care of and off to the side. So we're going to go in with liquid glue. And my first layer for both cards is going to be the moss. I need my pin. It's back behind my phone. I think this one's glued down. There we go. My first layer is going to be a piece of A2 sized moss cardstock, which always looks a little brighter on my camera than it does in real life. But it is like a beautiful kind of like lime green. And so I have that cut to 5.5 by 4.25. So it's going to cover my A2 card base perfectly. Put a little too much glue on that one. A little overzealous. Guys, I've already had a whole week and it's only Tuesday. It's like this end of the school year madness, and everyone is sick, and everyone has 27 events going on. And I'm sure that it is very similar for everybody. All right, so for my pattern paper, I grabbed these two really fun like texture print paper. So one is from the warm basics and one is from the cool basics. So the pink is from the warm, the tan is from the cool. I just really love this, like, I don't know, linen-y, I don't know, like it's got some kind of fabric texture to me that just reads like beachy summer. And we're gonna go ahead and add those. I have those trimmed down to, let's see, 5 by 3 3/4. And we're gonna adhere them flat with my liquid glue because you guys know we're probably gonna pop up our featured images with some foam. And I really like the kind of natural look that this has. And I also really love this fun, like watermelon pink and green combination. Just something bright and a little bit different. All right, so we have our card bases. We have our featured images. And we are going to use adhesive sheets with our simple greetings dies to make our sentiments. So I already cut the shadow layers of both of my sentiments from Pebble cardstock. And I'm thinking I'm going to have one of these cards going landscape and one portrait. So that is my idea with those. So what I'm going to do is we're going to Copic color our images in a minute, but I want to show you guys how I use these adhesive sheets. So the way that these come, this is like basically a giant sheet of double-sided tape. So you get, there's this extra flap on each end. And when you peel it, you have a sticky layer. And then if you peeled it from the other side, which the way it's made, you don't, but you would have the other side is also a sticky layer, basically. So we are going to cut our word dies, our sentiment word dies from the adhesive sheets. But to make sure it works the way I want it to, we're going to trim it down first. Let me just trim it with the cardstock I'm using. We're going to adhere it to cardstock on one side, trim it out, and then, sorry, cut it out, and then take off the paper and add our flock and glitter. And this is a really fun way to use them, where once you dust off the excess, you're really not going to have to worry about flock or glitter going everywhere. So I'm going to peel off one side. We're going to line up my cardstock and rub that all over. So now when we're ready and we peel the other side of our paper up, our backing paper, everything that's left is going to be sticky. So I'm going to go in, and you want to make sure when you're doing it this way that your dies, if you're using words or it matters what direction your dies are, you want to make sure that the dies are going on the backing paper and not your cardstock. So this way when we peel them off, the sticky will be up and we'll be adding our glitter and our loose block to the sticky parts. And for anybody who doesn't know or doesn't have experience with flock, I will show you in a minute what that looks like. It's basically like making it velvety. It's like soft, tiny little fibers, and you're basically velvetizing. I don't know if that's the correct word, but you're flocking it, but it's going to have the appearance of velvet when you're done. All right, so this is a thick layer. And I think I need a little bit of a shim. Let me take some printer paper that I have folded in half and then in half again. That first pass through did not get it all. I'm just running this through my Big Shot, and it's giving me quite the arm workout. Let's go one more time just to be safe. Okay, hopefully that's good. It's gonna have to be. So we have our H. I'm just gonna take my time because if there's one little section here or there that's not completely released, we should be able to still make this work without anything tearing. Go. Just using the pokey tool to remove. Oh, I just saw the comments about showing you guys stuff that now you feel like you need. I hope I balance it out with also showing you, giving you ideas for stuff that you already have. That's my goal. Need a balance of both of those things. Because I know not everybody can jump in and buy everything. I could not afford to buy all of the pink and main stuff I want if I was only left to my own devices. So, all right, so we have Happy Days ready to go. I'm more worried about this bottom one. Oh, okay, good. I tried to make itself look like it didn't cut all the way through, but I think it did. So this one says hello there. I have to also warn you, the flock that I'm going to use is an exclusive from a kit that came out earlier this year. So the exact color that I'm using isn't on the website, but I put the closest color I could find, which I'm pretty sure is pretty close, in the link in the descriptions. So just fair warning that it's not going to be exactly the same. But the effect will be the same. And Pink and Main has so many cool regular flocks and glitter flocks. I know I definitely want to add a couple more to my collection because the only one I have is that exclusive one. It was for a special project with Michelle, but I just think they're so cool. And I don't see a lot of people using them, and I don't see a lot of companies selling a ton of them. So if you do love flock or the effect of flock, Pink and Mean's a good one to have in your corner. Okay, there we go. There's the hello there. All right, so for hello there is going to go on our pink. So I'm going to use the flock for that one. So let's start with that. Let me get a fresh printer paper for our little canvas. All right, so the flock comes in, I think, I think in real life, it comes in the same size tub as the glue glitters, the superfine glitters. So these are what I'm using today. So this one is my flock. My color is called Sparkling Berry, but the closest one is Sparkling Mittens. And then I'm using Ocean Wave loose glitter. So what I'm going to do is peel off the front part of my adhesive sheet from my die cut. I'm going to use my little pokey tool to kind of hold that down. And this glitter flock, all of them look like this, where it has that beautiful mixture of the little loose velvety fibers and the glitter. And so we're going to take that and just sprinkle some over my letter. And I'm going to take my finger and we're going to just really gently kind of smush this into place. I'm kind of pressing down, picking up some from my paper. Make sure that you move your pokey tool or tweezers or whatever you're using around so that you get a good even layer all over. And then I like to take my pokey tool or tweezers or whatever you're using, side of scissors, and I like to run, sorry guys, let me zoom in a little more. I like to run the edge all the way along my die cut to just clean it up. See if you can see. And now we have this velvety, fluffy, glittery letter. It's so fun. It's just such a different and unique texture. There's literally nothing else like it. So I'm going to do the same thing with the rest of my letters, just being very careful when I'm removing that front paper from the adhesive, so I'm not pulling or tearing. Go. Same thing, we're going to hold this down. Give it a good coat. Pretty sure you can also like dunk this in if you're using smaller dies, but obviously this whole sentiment is a little much to be trying to dunk in there. And you just want to make sure that you are getting flock over all of that adhesive. Just kind of pressing and gently swiping. We'll give it a couple taps. And then the same as before, I just want to go kind of, you don't even have to be super meticulous about it, but just going around the edges to give them a good little swipe, just in case anything's hanging off. It'll just help to get you less transfer, less fallout afterwards. And there is our fuzzy flocked. I don't know if it's the same actual like texture, Jay, as the stuff that they like flock trees with. I think it's more of that technique is like flocking, like they add the little bit of adhesive on the end of like the branches and then put the white on and how it sticks. I think it's more that they have a similar kind of application, but I'm not sure. If anyone watching is in the Christmas industry, let us know if it's the same kind of flock. Let's see if I can get you really close up so you can see some of it's like glitter, but some of it's like those little fibers. They're like little fuzzies. So that is that one. And now we're going to do the same thing, but with our loose glitter. Oh, thank you, Damari. Yeah, once you kind of tap off the excess of the flock on the adhesive, it really doesn't fall off or chip or transfer or anything like that. It stays put to that adhesive. So when you first put a lot on, if it's not fully adhering, um, you'll get like a little bit of transfer, but the same with the glitter. Once you're in the adhesive part, you're good. All right, so my H I peeled off and I'm dipping that right into my glitter pot. And I do kind of like to do the same thing. I'm not afraid of getting a little glitter on my fingers. So I want to go in and really press that into that adhesive. Same idea as before. You want to move your tweezers out of the way if you're using tweezers. But I mean, seriously, look at that sentiment. How freaking cool. I love this stuff. My whole family's gonna love it for the next couple days because I can already tell I'm gonna end up with this all over my desk, but it's a craft desk. It's what makes me happy, so why not, right? That right in. The other side, go in and give it a good squish. Give it a little tap tap from the back when you're done so that any of that loose glitter does kind of fall off. There's our happy. It's making me pretty happy. And then the last one is the days. Yeah, so if you like loose glitter, you like the idea of glitter, but you don't want to send a crazy glitter bomb to somebody, and maybe heat embossing is not your jam, these adhesive sheets are a great way to get a glittery die cut without having to worry about excess flying all over when you get it to your recipient. Okay, that's just so beautiful. All right, happy days. Yep, that's right. I just brushed my hands all over my pants, and now I have glitter pants. The choice I'm willing to live with. All right, put that away. Let's get these out of our way. Let's go ahead and get these adhered. And, don't want them to get messed up while I'm working on anything else. So I'm going to go with my Easy Squeeze glue. Tiny dots on the back. Let's get it lined up. There we go. I just like now after seeing how glittery these look, I just want to do like a billion more of these. I just want to use every glitter that I own on these sheets. And you can always lay, you know, like a clear acrylic block or something heavy on top of these. So that is our first super fun sentiment, all done with our glitter. Happy days. That's the one that's going to get the lizard. That's the word I'm looking for. And now for our flock, our glitter flock. Take a little each. And place. I think a lot of times the flock to me feels a little more natural in like a Christmas or kind of wintry setting because of the fuzz. But I just think that these like pink, there's the mittens one that I linked in the description too. The like pinks and brighter colors just still feel happy and bright enough that I think they still fit for summertime. All right, and then there is our fuzzy, still glittery, still super fun, but just a very unique texture. I wish you guys could like feel it. It feels fuzzy. And I'll show you both of them side by side so you can see the difference in that texture. Well, oh, there we go. When I look into my laptop, the everything's backwards. So you can see they're both glittery, but the regular glitter one is just, you know, out of control. But the flock is just so fun and unique. And my pinks aren't exact, but I think they're close enough. All right, so now we're going to do our Copic coloring. And I did pre-pull my colors today, so this should go relatively easy for us. So my first image is this sweet little lizard. He's going to go on our Happy Days card, and I have some greens and yellows pulled out for him. There's my little coaster. Although my markers haven't been leaking since it warmed up. All right, so I'm going in with G29 first. We're going to shade the bottom part of his little face around the neck where those artist drawn lines are, around the tail, a little bit on the back, and then definitely want some of that color on the arms and the legs. It's like little gecko. So cute. Then I'm going to jump up to G19 and just start filling in some of that space. Overlapping. I want to be really careful to leave these little dots open because I want those to be yellow. There it is. We're going to jump to YG09. So even though I'm hopping between colors, like color families, and changing up that front, that first number, because all of my markers end in 9 so far, they're still gonna play together really nicely. You either want to stay pretty close to or in the same first number family and then switch your second number, or keep your second numbers the same. So you would either want to have like a 29, 28, 27, or somewhere in the 20s, or 29, 19, 09, so that the last numbers are the same. And I'm going to add just a little bit of this same color as kind of my darker shadow color on his belly. And for the belly, I'm going to grab the YG07, just a hint brighter. It's called acid green. It's like super bright and punchy. And then his dots I'm going to do in Y19. Pretty sure this is not, accurate technically for a lizard, but it's going to work for my lizard. So there he is. So cute. It's like very 90s sticker vibes for me too. So we're going to pull him out. He's going to go over here somewhere with our Happy Days card. And then my hula girl is going to go on top of our hello there. So let's get her some beautiful tanned skin first. We're going to go in with E99 to start with. I think I love her so much because of these crazy lashes. I love a good lash. We're going to shade the bottom part of her arms, back, the back of her waist, and then the back of her legs. I'm just picking a side basically. For the legs, we'll do the inner part of each. Then I'm going to jump up to E35. Making sure that I'm leaving some room for highlight. This is a tiny bit lighter, but it's also a little less orangey. This is what's going to pull her back more towards a skin tone. And then my lightest shade is going to be the E33. Right through the middle of the face. And then we want to kind of, anywhere the sun would be hitting is where we want to keep our highlight shade. Needs a little blush, I think. So because the skin tone is a little deeper, I'm going to go with R22. And just kind of like that color into her cheeks. I'm also going to grab RV25 for her lipstick, her bracelet, her anklet, and that flower in her hair. You know, for her bra too, but we're gonna need a second color for that. So I'm gonna go one darker. We're gonna go RV29. Add that to the center of the flower and then under her arm on the tube top, and then fill in with that 25. Go. I'm going to use some super dark browns for her hair. We're going to go E49, pretty heavy. So in my mind, her part in her hair is right here. So I'm going to pull my hair strokes out from that point, both directions. And then start to kind of curve and bring it around from there. And I want to follow that curve of the artist drawn line. It's not the most kind of natural looking hair, but the stamp is so stylized that it's going to make sense to your eye when you see it all together. So I like to do those bigger kind of mean brush strokes, marker strokes, and then go in and shade kind of in between them to deepen up that color, start adding in some shadow. That. Then we're going to jump to 47. And I want to leave some room for highlight, but not a ton, because I really do want her hair to be pretty dark. And don't be afraid to move your paper around while you're coloring. Don't feel like you have to manipulate your hand into some sort of very uncomfortable position while you're coloring. Just move your paper. There's nothing wrong with that. So you can see I've just left some very small little areas for highlights. Oh, Laura and Kim, no problem. I'm excited you guys are here. And I'm going in with the E44 just to fill in a little bit of highlight space. That'll just help to kind of break everything up a little bit. There she is. Right? Just a little movement, just a little variation in her hair. Oh, Karen, you got to get like either a higher desk or like squat your chair down maybe. Sometimes I catch myself doing that too, where I'm like too bent over and it does not help my neck. So I'm going to use the same green markers that we use for our lizard. So I'm going to go G29 first. I'm going to use those artist drawn lines to dictate where my darkest color is going to go first. And then the same kind of as the hair, once I have those base strokes down, I'm going to go in between and kind of add in some of those, that deeper shade. Then I'm going to jump to my G19. And I'm going to take those, filling them in, thickening them up a little bit, but also taking them all the way to the edge of the hula skirt. Okay. And then we're going to fill in everything else with my YG09. There we go. And just like that, my little hula dancer is all done. So pretty. I kind of like the idea of her being like one of those like little car hula dancers that kind of sway. So I wanted her kind of standing above our hello. So we're gonna need some foam. I think we're just gonna pop them all, like everything. So let me get my sentiment in a good spot first. She's definitely gonna need some enamel dots or sequins or gems or something to kind of flush this out. All right, I don't want her any higher than there, so oh, just adding foam. Sorry, zoom back out. Zoomed in so we could see up close, and now I'm too close. Okay. Actually, my paper. That's right. There we go. She's in place. Let's get our lizard situated, and then we'll add some enamel dots to both of these and call it a night. Running a little longer than normal, but I just really wanted to share the glitter and the flock. And I know a lot of people enjoy kind of learning and watching the coloring, and I didn't want to take that away either. So I want it like not centered. I want it a little lower and a little to the left. Oh, Heather, thank you. It doesn't always feel easy, but it usually does feel fun. And I'm so grateful to be able to do these lives because it inspires me to create in a very different way than I would kind of sitting here on my own at my desk. I'm not generally a planner when it comes to making my cards. I usually just sit and whatever happens, happens. So doing these lives with you guys has definitely helped me to kind of pre-design things in my head a little better. And it just pushes me to try some different styles and different things that I might not try on my own. There you go. I just want him kind of like peeking, like he's just creeping his little way up a wall. All right, so we need, that might be a good teal to tie in with that. And then we need like a fun pink, I think. Come on, fun pinks. All right, so we are going to use the Just a Note sparkle dots and the all occasion enamel dots to add a couple. I just really love this kind of teal. It matches so beautifully with the ocean wave superfine glitter. So let's add, I think 3 is good. We don't need to go crazy. I just want a little something to help kind of fill up the card. All right, so there is our Happy Days sweet little lizard, a little gecko. Oh, thank you so much, Kiki. I really appreciate that. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with the pink. Right, that pink doesn't quite match. Maybe we'll pull that same green from Just a Note. That'll tie in with our moss background and the green skirt. I only have littles of this one though, so let's do 3 and 3. We'll do 3 in the bottom right corner. We'll do 3 in the upper left. So we get that kind of like speckly diagonal. Yeah, that's fun. It's definitely giving that summertime watermelon kind of feeling. So there we have our flocked sentiment, and we have our glitter sentiment, both with those adhesive backers. So now I hope you guys feel more inspired on how you can use those adhesive sheets to create kind of different effects on your cards. And let me, there we go. So thank you so much for coming to hang out with me. I love seeing you guys chatting all in the comments. It makes my heart happy. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you are inspired. If you have any other questions or any things like this where you'd like to see a specific product be used or have questions more on flock or the adhesive sheets or glitter, or you want to see colors or you want to see swatches, I am fine with helping you guys with any of those things. So always feel like you can leave me a comment. I go back and check the previous week's videos while I'm planning and plotting for the next week. So I will keep an eye out for those. Like I said, thank you so much for coming to hang out. Make sure that you hit that subscribe or that follow button wherever you're watching. If you want to take a peek at what I used today, all of the links to on all of the products I've used today will be listed in the description below or above, depending on what platform you are on. I will be back here on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. So I will see you then. I hope you have a good day tomorrow. And until Thursday, happy crafting, guys.